Hey, hope you're doing good. I just have a little bit of a cough, so please excuse me. Nonetheless, you know that saying when people say that people change for who they want? Like, especially like in a relationships context, like when the woman or the man feels like you have been in this person's life long enough for them to have probably applied a few of the things that otherwise you felt like, hello. And they would go on to being in another relationship and be the exact person that you would have otherwise want them to be, doing the things that you have asked them that they never wanted to do. Okay. I beg to differ though, as always. I beg to differ because I personally feel seeing it as that life is a journey and we grow and we evolve and we expand. There are certain things that take time for us to realize. No? And now, with that said, that is why people only respond at a later stage. Hence why I also emphasize on the fact that anything that somebody does for their good or because they want to do it, it has absolutely nothing to do with you. Same scenario here. Let me put it in this context. You know, when you were first introduced to the concept of the Bible and giving your life to Christ, did you respond immediately? Excuse you, sir and madam, that responded immediately. I'm speaking specifically to those of them that really it took a significant amount of time before they realized that they needed Christ in their lives, before they realized that they needed to change certain things in their lives. This is the same principle. It's because as you learn, as you grow, as you expand, there are certain aspects of your life that you realize that you need when you get there. That is when you change. That is when you choose to be the person that ends up benefiting this union that you are in with this particular person. So I really do not think that it has anything to do with people change for who they want. They change when they are ready to change. Hence the being born again concept. Not everybody accepted Christ immediately when he was introduced to you. You took a great amount of time to decide the Bible does speak the truth. Having God in my life is actually beneficial. Being born again is actually something that I should have taken the moment it was introduced to me. But you didn't. You took your time up until that moment when you knew that you were ready for it. When you realize that you have the capacity now to embody this thing called being born again. And not necessarily the first time someone told it to you or the first time someone introduced it to you. And because we mustn't also take away from the fact that whenever people introduce something to you, they introduce it to you from their perspective, their understanding, and their experience, which can sometimes be a bit frightening for another person where you're like, if this is the Christ you're talking about, I don't want him. But when you came to terms with it at your time, when you had the capacity and the ability to be able to embody this relationship, that is when you accepted. I believe it's the same principle with relationships. You might go through 2, 3 relationships, and by the time you get to that one relationship where things seem to be less effortless, it's just seamless, it's just moving beautifully. it is because you have built up the capacity from every other relationship. So every other relationship you've had, it's not something that a person can look at as regret. It was a stepping stone. It was leveling up. It is you growing. So there is nothing wrong with the fact that you are not with a person that you would have otherwise wanted to be back then. But it is that that person was a part of your journey up until this moment where you are able to embody a relationship and be responsible and fruitful in it, because now you understand the weight, you understand the substance that you're supposed to bring to this relationship based on the other relationships. So you cannot disregard any relationship in your life. It doesn't matter how horrible it was. It is just a matter of realizing that everything that has happened in your life up until this moment has been a growing and evolving experience, adding to who you're going to become 2-3 years from now. The person that you are today is because of every other person that you've had in your life that has either taught you something that you choose to not repeat, or taught you something that you'll forever keep with you. So it's the contrast of life where you get to sift and sort out the many different things that you choose you want to continue with in life or you don't want to. So, like I said, I beg to differ that people change for who they want. No, they change when they are ready, when they have the capacity, the understanding, and the endurance to maintain this which they choose to embark on. So much grace and favor upon all of you beautiful souls. Super Monday to you. Much love.